Bonjour! I'm going to tell you a personal story about a very scary event, and it includes an earthquake. So if earthquakes are scary to you, you can choose not to watch, but earthquakes are real, and if you choose to watch, you'll get a little safety tip. And most students love the story. In fact, it's the most requested personal story from Monsieur Chappell of all time. It's called The French Guy. Well, why is it called The French Guy? Because we had this earthquake experience together. It was 1989. The earthquake struck on October 17th in Santa Cruz, California, and also in the Bay Area, California. The epicenter was Loma Prieta, so we call it the Loma Prieta Earthquake as well. But this earthquake is famous for another reason, because during that time, there was a World Series event happening in San Francisco. It was the Oakland A's against the San Francisco Giants. And because that event was going on, a lot of people were at a stadium and were not driving, so there are less casualties. So that's important. But also, it was the first ever live broadcast of an earthquake in human history, because they were showing the baseball game when the earthquake happened. Anyway, I was in Santa Cruz. I went to UC Santa Cruz, and I was in a classroom on campus, just like the classrooms you know. Well, when the ground started shaking, we were all terrified. But because of all the years of training in public school about what to do during an earthquake, all those earthquake drills, I knew what to do. I knew exactly what to do. I was scared, but I also knew exactly what to do because of all that training. So the ground started shaking in a significant way. You could barely keep your balance as the floor shifted back and forth. And behind us were these huge plate glass windows. If they'd cracked, they could have cut us. So fortunately they did not, but we wanted to be safe. So I called out to the room, "Everybody to the center, now, cover your necks." And everyone did, except the French guy. Well, he had not had earthquake trainings because in Paris, they don't have big earthquakes like they do in California and Oregon. So after the ground stopped shaking, we all sat back up to see if everyone was okay. Well, he was okay, but he hadn't moved at all. He was still over on the side, sitting cross-legged, and he was the first to speak. He just announced, "Wow, that was so cool. I'll never forget it because I didn't think it was all that cool. I was quite scared. And as we left the building, we realized the significance of that earthquake. The sidewalks were cracked. I had to step up a level, just like in this photo. That's not me, but the significance of the crack was just like that. Downtown Santa Cruz crumbled to pieces because many of the buildings were made of brick. And it was really a significant event in my life because it taught me that during an emergency situation, the training I had received before really did help. I reflected on that experience a lot and how humans really have different takes on what happens in life. And the French guy's one was, well, very relaxed. Well, I hope you can be safe and relaxed during an earthquake, but the key word is safe. So be prepared, not just with water and a light source and some food, but be prepared mentally and emotionally. What will you do if the ground starts shaking right now? Where would you head? Will you open a door so that it doesn't get pinched shut if the building shifts? That's important. Also, doorways are very structurally sound areas, unless there's something above the doorway that might fall on you. So as you go about your life, think about how to keep yourself safe in those kind of very acute emergency situations, because we don't get any warning for an earthquake. It just happens suddenly. I hope you enjoyed this story. It's the most requested story I've ever had in my 20 years of teaching. The French Guy. Ciao for now.